The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school?
Welcome to American Perfectionist, where we dissect the intricate tapestry of political landscapes with a magnifying glass of scrutiny. Subscribe, hit that like button, and let's embark on this intellectual exploration together. Let's dive into the heart of the matter of today's video. Mama Bear destroys Joy Reid's career over pornographic books being in school. I'm absolutely flabbergasted by the epic beatdown that just went down. I mean, seriously, did someone over at Joy Reid's news station forget to do their homework, or did they accidentally pull a name from a hat? Because this mix-up should be the grand finale of Joy's career, no one's gonna take her seriously after this. This lady, and let me tell you, she unleashed a verbal storm that should be trademarked. It's like she hit Joy Reid with a barrage of metaphorical punches, and they were so devastating that even YouTube should have a warning label before you watch it. I'm not just talking about figurative blows here, it's a knockout performance that deserves a standing ovation. I'm telling you, I'm ready to give this lady a bear hug and toss a cool million her way for this spectacular show. These left-leaning loonies love to spin their narratives, but finally, someone had the guts to crash the party and set the record straight. Buckle up, folks, this is about to get wild. Cue the clip and let the hilarity ensue.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for
do.
you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information.
I'm about to hit play on the video. But before I do, let me spill the beans on this wild habit people have of treating me like a human yo-yo in debates. So, I find myself in these debates, especially with black conservatives who are really into being black first. And guess what? They pull out the big guns by throwing around names like Black Moses. Like, seriously, who even is that guy? Some obscure figure that's basically irrelevant in real black history. And here's the kicker, they hit you with a question about him, thinking they've got a golden ticket to a debate. Bro, you're asking me about some ancient trivia that I'd need a detective squad to fact check. What's the deal? They're in the middle of this debate, and suddenly, the interviewer is going off about characters and histories. But hold on a sec, what's the connection between all this and, strap-ons and whatnot? It's like trying to relate Shakespeare to a cooking show, totally off the wall.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered very specific names.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about
Here's my question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer your question.
Great. I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay,
great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school. I mean, come on, let's get real. This book
is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So, again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask it one more time. What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof of that is what?
You just said that
What's
if a
your
child
proof of
feels
that?
seen by this story.
What I'm saying, Joy, you're now making assumptions about it.
Joy, but if a child has been raped, we should do a lot better than put a book on a library
shelf. Now you're literally
shelf.
creating a story behind a child that you don't know.
So, like, she's totally not up for a chat, you know? She made it crystal clear. Imagine if there was this tale about a kid chilling in a mega expensive crib in Scottsdale, Arizona, munching on saffron and Wagyu beef daily. Now, I swear, I'm about to hit you with the clip. If that were the story they threw at us in school, I'd be like, yo, I feel seen. It's all about that connection with the experience, you feel me? But now, here's the twist. She's saying if a kid feels seen in a story about someone who got messed up by a predator, it's not like handing them a book is gonna magically fix things. It's more like making them relive trauma, and that's not cool. Instead of forcing kids into mandatory trauma reads, maybe they should be on the couch with a counselor, steering clear of that exposure. That's her vibe, but Joy can't catch that memo, so she's stuck doing her thing, you know? Gotta keep the show rolling.
Let me show you a form. This is a form that can be obtained in Broward County, Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to the audience, and then I'm going to show it to you. Okay. This is called the opt. Yeah, please. I'm going to hand it to you.
Thank you so much.
It's called the opt-out form.
Okay.
An opt-out form would allow any parent, because you said you are in favor of parental rights.
I am.
It would allow any parent to opt out of their child being able to take books out of the library without their parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue, that they can make that choice? Because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a black parent, a parent who wants their child to read a book about African-American history, then they get their rights.
We want children to read books about
Why not just
African-American
opt
history,
out for yourself rather than tell other parents what they can and cannot?
First of all, I think what you're talking about here is a wonderful step in the right direction. We should be having conversations about this. This is about local control. Mm-hmm. A lot of these decisions are made at the local school board level. Mm-hmm. And that's where these decisions should be made. And there should be vibrant conversations about what's happening in our public schools and what kids have access to. Joy, however, maybe we could just put all the books with all the graphic sexual content, the dildos, the rape, the incest.
I'm sorry.
Let's do a back room. Let's put a curtain up in the library like they used to do.
One moment.
Remember when we were little and you would go to the video store?
The books that Moms for Liberty.
And they put those books that
Moms for Liberty.
With pornography.
I know that I've seen.
We could just do that in the public library.
I have seen tapes of what Moms for Liberty does, and you all go into school board meetings and you read graphic stuff.
Disingenuous conversation.
No, it's not.
America used to understand that there was something called age-appropriate content.
Right, and here's my question again.
On movies.
Again. Ruby Bridges goes to.
Oh boy, buckle up for a wild ride through the land of liberal shenanigans. So, these liberals, they're like the masters of gaslighting, turning serious issues into a fun mental roller coaster. Picture this, it's like they're playing a sneaky game of guess the controversial book in schools, and parents are supposed to be the expert contestants. They pull this opt-out card, making it sound all cool and empowering, but hold up, it's as absurd as saying, hey, I can teach your kid about acrobatic bedroom maneuvers, but you can opt them out. Seriously? Who wants to opt their kids out of awkward conversations? And then, they drop these books with content that's more cringeworthy than a dad joke, assuming parents are mind readers who should magically know what's going on in school libraries. I mean, who knew we'd reach a point where parents have to play detective in the school library, scanning each book for potential awkwardness? Now, the argument goes all cinematic, like there are movie ratings for a reason. PG-13 means kids under 13 stay out, and R-rated stuff? Nope, not for the youngins. So, why not apply the same logic to books? If it's a literary description of a steamy encounter, it better have an age restriction, right? But here's the kicker. They're expecting parents to sift through a sea of thousands of supposedly appropriate books, hoping they won't miss the couple hundred sneaky inappropriate ones. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack, but with way more awkwardness. And then there's this whole dance with Joy Reid, who's playing the disingenuous maestro, trying to trip up the lady with questions about the author, as if that matters more than the questionable content itself. Who cares if the main character is a serial killer? It's about the inappropriate stuff, not a book character reunion. I'm just baffled at how our country landed in this topsy-turvy situation. These disingenuous liberals, both black and white, are throwing books into schools like confetti, hoping parents won't notice until their kids are fully indoctrinated. It's like a secret mission to turn innocent schools into hotbeds of unexpected revelations. What a plot twist!